Good evening and welcome everybody to the Gary Brodsky Show with your host, Gary Brodsky. GaryBrodsky.com, OccultForce.com, BrainTrainPower.com. They all work and that's why I'm here. Now let's talk about a few things. And these are very important things. The woman of today, okay? I'm talking about the young, even the old women today. They are not the same as the women 10 years ago, or 100 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago. What has changed? They have become worshippers of government, worshippers of themselves. And that's all there in the Bible for those of you who are not atheists, those 10 or 20 people out there. They are arrogant. They're feminists. Whatever you say is wrong. I think you know the deal. So how do you deal with the woman of today? Chip on her shoulder, entitled to everything, owes you nothing. That's how it works. That's how they are. And if you go on the dating sites, which I don't go, but I go sometimes my friends, so just take a look at what's out there. I am a member of course, Seeking Arrangements. I have to be. Long story there. So if you look at the dating sites, they've got a list of demands that are like, 30, 40 pages long. And the sad part is, guys try to mold themselves to women's demands. Okay? I'm going to say this here. I'm going to get crap for it. But that shit does not, will not, cannot, will never work. I want a guy who's this, I want a guy who's that. And guys, I'm sure, putting in, I'm this, I'm that. Your world, your rules. Yep, I know I'm considered outdated or whatever. But, hey, men were created in the image of God. Women were created in the image of man. Now, some jerk who's going to want to talk about the biggest hoax ever played on humanity. Yeah, you know what the biggest hoax was? Evolution. And I know, because I used to work there with the same group that promoted that hoax as well as many other hoaxes. And the other hoaxes out there are women do not want alpha males or manly guys. And I see guys wearing these shirts that say, this is what a feminist looks like. I tell them this is what a fist looks like. You get the point. The more a woman is feminist and this and that, and I need guys, crap. This is a big part. The easier they are to seduce. The sad part to this, and there's a sad part to this, is men have forgotten how to be masculine in every sense of the word. Now, if you're watching the show, or if you're not, there's an audio out there that's really controversial. I cannot keep it up long because I just started getting my advertising back, called Male Superiority, the kind of man women are attracted to. $3.95. And that's not going to be up long. That is not going to be up long. So if you're watching this on YouTube, or you're watching it now, I suggest you go to GaryBrodsky.com and get it. It will blow you away. Because I see such defeatism in men today. No good posture, no powerful voice, no ambition, no drive, no sexuality. And the women will see these guys and they will chew you up, spit you out, and then stomp you into the goddamn concrete. I'm going to try to get back in center here. Okay, this is good, right? I'm looking great, right? Yeah, no. Okay. But if you know how to deal with them, they're easier now than ever before, because most of the population of this country, as well as all the other countries, have been emasculated. That's what I want quick. So if you're the kind of guy that comes off alpha and confident, there are no limits. There are no limits. And you just can't sit there going, well, I'll be alpha and confident tomorrow, without a guide. You can't even drive right now, 10 miles without GPS. Well, GaryBrodsky.com is your GPS to being the alpha guy that women are attracted to. Plain and simple. And on that note, good night. Just kidding. Okay. Questions, Gary Brodsky 123 at AOL.com. And I get them here and I read them. That seems pretty fair, doesn't it? Well, let's see if there's any questions. No questions yet. That's okay. Oh, now the questions come in. Aha, okay. Hey, Chris. Hi, Chris. Okay. Good evening. Okay, there's one girl I work with. She told me that if she ever dated a guy again, she requires 3 things. I'm gonna the usual joke, okay? Tattoos, a guy who will fulfill her every whim, and something else I forgot. I smiled, laughed when she said it. I have tattoos, and left it at that. Yeah, women they won't say it now, they can't, it's politically incorrect. And you get all sorts of shit for that. But women will never say that they want a guy who's a guy. And they're starting to say it now, actually. So let me amend that. They are starting to say it right now. I want a guy who's a guy. But guys, see how they act today? I need some comments and feedback. Because they almost act, I know them. I know a lot of guys today. I see them at the gym. I see them in a lot of places I go. They are like wimpy, little, whiny girls. Because they fell for the feminist propaganda more than women did. You can't even get a normal voice out of them. And I'll do the voice maybe tonight, maybe not, but it's on a lot of the clips here. It's just sad. And one of the saddest parts of today's women is they will go on the attack. And I have a lot of proof of that, unfortunately, in my life. And not that they've done it to me. They won't. They won't get away with it. But they have done it to guys I am doing business with. In the middle of a business deal that's working out great, the guy called me and go, I can't do this deal with you. It's like, what happened? Well, my girlfriend doesn't like it. Well, it's profitable, isn't it? Yeah, but that's not the point. I don't need the problems. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm not going to mention names, but this is absolutely a true story, and I swear to God this is true. I was doing business with a guy, and we were setting up a really good website. And he was really enthusiastic about it. And I was teaching him how to pick up women. He was picking them up left, right, center, day and night. Seriously. I'd like to have him on the show on a webinar as a possible guest. He might do it. And, he's putting up, he's a very wealthy man, funding everything. And he goes, well, I just met this girl, and she doesn't really like the direction of the website. Now, he's, trained by me. He's 48 years old. The girl is 23. And a feminist and this and a liberal, the same shit you're going to find anywhere. I said to him, you better grab control real quick. You better grab control and show who's boss real quick. He goes, well, I don't want to upset her. She'll leave me. So what? She ain't going anywhere. I told him, she's not going anywhere. This kept going on more and more and more. Next thing, he could only call me. And this deal was rolling along from the car. So I'm in the car now. I don't talk for 3 minutes. I don't talk for 2 minutes. I can't do business like that. Lo and behold, he says, she's on my case all the time. She's reading my emails. She wants to see how many times I called you. She wants my phone records. I said, she's supposed to be a girlfriend. She goes, well, now she's my fiance. Okay. You don't turn over your fucking information. Oh, what are you, crazy? He goes, well, I have to. Have to how? And I said, well, she not like she held a gun to my head. I said, even if she did hold a gun to my head, I told her to pull a trigger at this point. You're losing it. As it goes, he just left the deal hanging, leaving me in a little bit of debt. That happens. It's business. That's part of it. People go into business. Hey, I lost money. Hey, that's business. You see a business graph like this? No, it's like this. Okay, that's just one instance. Um, he called me the other day. I said, hey, where you been? He said, jail. I said, a guy like you, this is a very, very, I'm not going to mention his profession, very clean living, honorable man that just happened to get caught into a very, very bad relationship without the skills to know how to handle it. I was teaching him how to pick up women. We used to have this big dialogue, but I didn't teach him how to deal with women. And he made the mistake. Well, if I just do this one more thing, she'll like me more. So I said, what happened? Why are you in jail? He said, well, I had to get up at a certain time, and I took a nap. I said, that's why you're in jail? He goes, no. She set her alarm in one of these things, iPhones, the thing everybody lives by, and it went off. The alarm went off, and he wanted to go back to sleep. He said, the hell with this, whatever I got to do. And he took it and he flipped it into a laundry basket, with laundry in it, by the way. He woke up, two big Gavone shaved head cops are there. Like, what happened? And he got scared. So, well, did you throw this phone into the laundry basket? It's like, yeah, the alarm was driving me crazy. Well, that's called attempted willful destruction of personal property. Yeah, threw his ass in the hoosgow. He did his day in jail till he got in front of a judge. He just said, okay, you're just released. There's no damage, goodbye. He went home. Guess what? Bank account's empty, car gone, order of protection. He has nothing. He's got to go back to work, start from scratch, has no money to hire an attorney to get him out of this, and they don't want to help him. So if you don't want to, be like this, because this has happened more than once, I can sit there all night and tell you stories. It's just one story, and it just illustrates a lot of people. Similar situations. I know in the last 2 months, 5 guys got thrown into jail because women need to feel that power. But they will never do that to a guy who's alpha. Never. That's why I implore you, while it's still allowed to be up there, because I know my ad's starting on sometime this week, and I got to pull that male superiority down, $3.95 at GaryBrodsky.com. If you don't have it, you better get it. Because when you feel or act inferior, you will be cannibalized, torn to pieces, and ripped up. That's the way the world works. If I could wave my hand and change it, I would. But I can't. So I can offer this audio. $3.95. I make a whole 35 cents on the deal, okay? You got to remember, I got to pay for hosting, cutting the audio, getting up online, the auto ship and all that other stuff, for you to instantly hear what is so screwed up in the world. And I'll show you some questions, so get busy. I'm checking to see if there's any questions. That's not, I know your addresses, okay? Oh, I can't even threaten. There's a joke on here. Okay, that's good. Hey, here we go. Dance around. Hey, how you doing, my friend? Is that a birthmark, or did something happen to the right side of your face? And thanks for these questions, Dan. Keep going. You're on a roll. The right side of my face. You mean this? I've had it my whole life. And I'll show you something really interesting later, because my grandfather had the exact same one. You know who he is? Look him up. It's hereditary. It's actually my antenna to superior knowledge. I made that up. Hey, Gary, men today. I like this already. It makes me sick that guys put up with their girlfriends, fiancés or wives, going through their phones. Or worse yet, the fucking jerkos that make the excuse, I have to let her check my phone. Oh, you hear that too? Isn't it disgusting? Fuck that shit. It's my phone. I won't go through my girlfriend's phone. Mostly because I don't give a fuck. I like that. So why the fuck should she have the right to go through mine? I try to establish a boundary early in a relationship. And I have girls that insist on looking through my phone. I drop her like a hot potato. You better, and I'm glad that you do. You know, I know the type of women I deal with and hang out with. I can leave my phone, a bunch of notes, and my business carry case with my personal stuff in there, and they know just the way that you got to know how to be. They will not ever open it up or go through it. You got to look for those kind of women, and you've got to train them. And yeah, that's a bad word, I know, but it is the only word. You got to train. I train Wing Chun. You got to train women how they're going to react to you. Otherwise, as I said, they are going to tear you to pieces if you give them the opportunity. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't realize, I got new teeth. They're all perfect now. I realized that martial arts was a great investment in dentistry, but I still love it. And here comes another question. Wow, a lot of questions. I hope this expands. It does. Long time. How you doing? I'm doing good. I was at Al's bar. I saw this brunette sitting on a table by herself. Some fucking jerk off tries to pick her up and would say anything to get her to, I guess, to like him. I'm thinking, what a fucking schmuck. Okay, I'm trying to get this a little smaller. I overhear him ask very meekly if he can buy her a drink. Then she refuses, asking if he's trying to take advantage of her. What triggered a reaction in me was how he said he was a feminist. Another one. Fucking traded to males everywhere. Guess who she came home with? I'll give you a hint. I knew it was you. Come on. I know you by now. Yeah, it really is sad. It used to be a classy thing. Buy her a drink. It's nice. Send her a little bottle of champagne at that table with nice women. Sounds cool, right? Now, things have changed. Now it's not going to be the right champagne. It's got to be the Marc Chandon. It's just a different world. Women have become predatory. You're in enemy territory. What do you do with an enemy? You conquer them. I mean, this is some really nasty stuff. You conquer them and you slave them. And you make them enjoy their slavery. Yeah, this is going to get a lot of shit. But I get a lot of shit anyway. I got a stack of letters from here. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Attorney's letters and stuff like that. Because somehow, in this society that we live in, the truth is racist. The truth is sexist. The truth is misogynist. The truth is misandry. The truth is anything that they want to. And you can't stop it. And they're doing it. Well, you can't stop hate speech. Why? Because once you stop hate speech, whether you like it or not, first of all, you don't have to listen to it. You can't stop any type of speech. But apparently they're doing it. And we're going to have no free speech very soon, I guarantee it. Unless we all start speaking freely. Then they can't stop us. Political correctness is most everybody's religion right now. My favorite thing, which I'm getting very, very few invitations to, was going to dinner parties and cracking dick jokes. Which at one time was real funny. You want to know something? You want to see how much we've changed? There's one thing I watch on YouTube. And I don't watch it like, wow, I got to see what happens next. Just to see the difference. The Dean Martin roasts. You had guys like Freddie Prinze on there, Tony Orlando. They looked like men. They were in their 20s. Now look what you got. Okay? That's exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, since beginning history, men have forgotten how to act like men, and therefore only really 9% of guys, listen to this fact, 9% of guys from 18 to 30 are even dating or have any type of relationship. They've given up out of lack of knowledge. You shall perish, and they're perishing. I got my video game controller. I don't feel bad for these guys. I don't feel good for them. I don't make fun of them. I am actually here to help them. Crazy as that may sound, I took on a fucking load, huh? All right, let's see. More questions. I see this all the time on the streets, in restaurants, bars, and clubs. Women holding hands and often leading a guy who's very clearly a beta, walking in front of him, and they'll easily cheat on him with wise guys like this. Thus, why do they stay in sexless, boring relationships? Is it a nesting that the guy's or the guy's money? It's look at seeking arrangements. Okay, I knew normal girls. No, not that normal. I mean, women do not start out that normal. That were looking for a date, and they went to seekingarrangements.com. They can get 10 grand a date. And everybody seems that's normal because I have not seen one show pan it, knock it. I haven't seen a feminist talk out against it. It's like, hey, if you want it, honey, you're gonna have to pay. So it shows you that the guys with the money who can afford 10 grand a date, they can't get women. They forgot how. Money doesn't mean shit when it comes to women, because the poorest loser drug addict can get more women than the richest guy I know. That's the way it is. Why? They're more alpha. Alpha wins all the time. It always does. Look at Donald Trump. He's alpha. Whether he wins the election or not, but he's a great example. It's going to be huge. Huge. Okay. And there's another question here. How do I talk to an Allegro? That works for Shoot too. Very simple. Just say, I want this, get it for me now. You command a spirit, or a spirit will wind up commanding you. Very simple. And you deal with a serious spirit there that will wind up having you working for it. You don't want that. Just tell it what you want. Now, how spirits work, off topic of course, is spirits are all around us. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's true. The facts will prove it out. Anybody wants to test it on them, they don't like the results. But spirits work around you. They're with you. You are a spirit. You have 12 different facets of your personality. You're in a good mood one day, bad mood the other day. What do spirits do for you? Well, they live by your enjoyment. So they want to make sure you're happy. Why? So they can be happy with you. And the big way of dealing with an issue or an Allegua is you make deals with it. Here, I'm offering you some rum, a little glass of rum. It doesn't have to be any particular brand. And you say, here's some rum, and in exchange for that, I want this. And you're going to get it. People can't believe it. One guy used to watch a show, and he said, this stuff doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to try it. He became a rock star. I'm not going to mention his name. He used to come to all the shows. If you're back about 2 years ago, saying, does this stuff really work? I want to be a rock star. He's a very well-known rock star now. So, yeah, it works. Okay. Now, questions are coming in today. I choose to worship God through Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I probably offend a lot of people by saying that. Fuck them. I will never worship the government or the politically correct agenda. Why? Corinthians 10 warns against worshiping false idols. Absolutely true, and amen to that. I can only imagine what Dan is asking here. Snakes. Snakes are satanic, right? every treacherous people, or stitches we call them snakes, is there a cult or satanic thing to that? Well, you just open up Pandora's box here. I gotta tell you, she needs some feminine hygiene. But snakes, actually, no, it doesn't say snakes. It says serpents. The serpent, okay? The serpent is actually in every culture. When human beings were created, there was a serpent there. And that's a lot of hidden knowledge there. I can't go through. A couple of days I saw a ribbon snake out in my yard. I did not have any damage to me, but it is the serpent, the mind of the serpent. You know, let the hero born of woman crush the serpent. The serpent is the real, and David I talks about this a lot. A lot of people do reptilian force. That is not like a snake where you get an iguana in your house or a terrarium. It ain't gonna do shit to you. Can't take you over. But it is, and what the reptilian thing is, originally the dragon. Now think about this. The Chinese calendar has the year of the horse, the year of the rooster, the year of the, I don't know the animals. But they have 11 real animals. Why a dragon? Because in every culture, think about this, from Asia in China to England in Europe, the enemy was the dragon. So there's so much to go over on that. But it works through vibration. A lot of it comes through your television set on low frequency, and it overtakes people. But let me get back to today's woman for a second. Let's see any other questions here. Today's woman will immediately, you don't want to ever, and I always mention this, get into arguments with women. Because number one, it does drive you crazy. No matter what you do, it's going to be wrong. So you cannot ever have that approach. You got to have that approach, which is on that new audio, male superiority, which nobody's bought yet, which is so that they don't question life, they don't put you through the routines, and those routines are devastating. And guys, I have seen guys that will never, ever recover. Can you imagine spending a night in jail? Because first of all, that's not really a good neighborhood. That's how my brother explained jail. It's the worst neighborhood you could possibly be in. Because you flipped somebody's phone to a laundry basket. But that's how screwed up women have become. And unless you're alpha, you are going to lose your manhood, your freedom, and everything you ever worked for. So, today's women are brainwashed, and you got to unbrainwash and re-brainwash them yourself. That's why I have Manson's stuff on there. He knew how to brainwash. I don't endorse anybody. I just take tactics that work, say, hey, now they're available to you. And people always call me up. I get so many emails, I can't even count. All saying, well, now that's wrong. I didn't mean it. And I get the other emails saying, hey, that stuff works. I got them like a charm. I spoke to a guy this weekend who just had to call me up. Left like 4 messages in like 10 minutes. He said, I have a girlfriend that I live with and 3 girlfriends that come over during the week. And, your stuff works. I know that. But he actually applied the knowledge. And if you don't mind, I'd like to smoke a cigarette and have some water. I ran out of soda, so it's going to be water tonight. And check out Male Superiority, $3.95. You can't beat that. Because it's that important to get out there. Because on another note, women can be the most loyal person in your life, the most loving, and the most caring. Handled wrong, like fire, it'll burn your house down. Handled right, hey, you got a good cigarette going here. Now, there's some ways to break women down in a good way. And I'm not talking about breaking them down in a bad way. I don't want to have any misinterpretations. This is called the sleeper hold. It's not something you saw in wrestling. Now, excuse me, I'll just drink some water, and I will tell you what the sleeper hold is. And any woman, you can take the most feminist woman with 12 t-shirts on, 15,000 cats, and a flannel shirt. and she will start to love you and worship you. What is this technique? Well, I drink my water, I'll tell you. Fair deal? Good. And this is on a new audio, by the way. I forgot the name of it. But it's just one of the techniques. If you hug a woman for more than 5 minutes, she is going to start falling in love with you. Because people have become so distant from each other that you don't see people hugging anymore. You don't see them holding hands. But that's a great weapon. You just put your arms around a woman. Usually from the behind, it works better. Nothing anally. I can't. That's disgusting. But just from behind, just holding her, putting her on your shoulder, holding her. Within 5 minutes, the chemistry that has been bottled up inside of her, the oxytocin that she has not been able to feel, the feeling of a woman that she's forgotten about, turns right on. No, I don't know. There's an experiment done with monkeys. And monkeys that hold, even kids will hold a stuffed animal because they need that. We're human beings. We need to be with each other, not against each other. But monkeys that did not have something to hold, well, even hold a warm bottle, became vicious and nasty. And as soon as they were held, they became nice and sweet and loving. I can't. I'll tell you why later, Dan. I can't do that now. But what the point that Dan is making, and it's a very good point, is if you have an explosive masculine encounter with a woman, like you're talking about, hey, listen to this. Oh, you cannot be boring. It's a lot of the stuff's on every audio I have. You can't be like, well, it was very nice today. I went to work and my boss. No, you got to make life worth living for both yourself, for women, and for the whole world. When somebody speaks with enthusiasm, it's very different. Okay, watch these pickup lines and tell me which one works better. Okay, ready? You look fantastic tonight. You look great. You look fantastic tonight. You're looking great. When you put emotion there, you start emotion. Now, think of the most feminist woman again. Bitchy attitude, the whole fucking thing, right? How bitchy and nasty and arrogant and demanding is she going to be when you tell her, you know something? There's something special about you. You are amazing. Does she want to ruin that? No. She's been doing feminism her whole life for validation. And you just gave her real validation. The way it was created, man and woman. It's so easy. Right now, I always say this, and every day it gets even more. But right now, at this moment in time, it is easier to pick up women than you can even imagine. If you're alpha and if you present yourself the right way, which is all there at GaryBrodsky.com. I cannot do it all in this short period of time because we're going to talk about hours and hours of research stuff. And a lot of the research was done by people who just did the research to make it go the other way. So I know the game's going both ways. They want men castrated. They want men dumbed down. They want men to be the failures that you see walking the streets every day. Why? Because when you plan to take a place, you want the weakest possible line of resistance. You cannot be that guy. And now it's affecting women with a new attitude, which is just easily knocked down. Really, it's to some guys, it can destroy their life. To me, it's just, I'll just bring it right down. But that attitude is in men too, and that's what's even more disgusting. Women, I always give them a pass because we have to, right? But if you don't know how to deal with them, they'll tear you to pieces. This happened to me once. I said, I'm going to be nice and just, see what happens. I do that. I experiment on myself. Nightmare. And I don't mean I'm not nice. I'm a very kind person. But I was like cooperative. How about that? I was cooperative with all her whims and insanity. I mean, people who know me from back then are still laughing about it. She took me through the ringer. And it was devastating. I said, I knew this was going to happen, but I just had to see. Because there is nothing I did that would be considered offensive. I was going along with the political correct views just to see what was going to happen. I knew the fuse was lit. I didn't know how it was going to go off, and it was not pleasant. Believe me, she took everything, just really thought she was. It's dangerous, okay? Don't play that game, ever. But most guys don't even do it as a game. It's their lifestyle, and that's where I come in. All right, need some questions here, guys. Because I didn't turn the heat on here. It's kind of cold. The questions keep me rolling. Okay, got a new question here. When you ask something from an electric, how long does it usually take to get it? 3 days. You got to ask powerfully. This is a powerful spirit, okay? You can't go on, can you please get me? Here's rum or a cigar. I want this. Take care of it now. Here, I'm giving you a small candle. This candle is for you to take care of this. The thing wants you as a spirit, because it's just energy. Everything is just energy and vibration, really, if you break it down. It's going to want to enjoy life through you. So it's going to get you what you want. It's to its own self-interest. And that goes for anybody else. All right, some good questions are coming in here. None of the others are bad, but Besides honey, what other foods like eggs and red meat pack your testosterone up? Actually, the best way, outside of course, the DHEA at GaryBrodsky.com, to pack up your testosterone is to act like a man. Seriously. Weightlifting, shadow boxing, doing manly activities, looking at pictures of naked women, not porno, just pictures of naked women, your testosterone amps up so quick. Plus, you know that audio have 40% more testosterone. You said it works, and it does work, and it's at, of course, GaryBrodsky.com. You don't even have to do anything except follow what's on there. No. And I'd like to hear some comments about that audio. Be more man. Are you still selling MK44? Absolutely. If you need a link, let me know. This stuff sells, a lot of this stuff sells privately. I live in a wealthy area. People know this stuff works. They're like New World Order style people. They want this stuff. I just bought a bill from Amazon. It just shipped. Okay, that was the next question. And 2 questions here. Okay, but today's woman is immediately protective, defensive, and at the same time going into attack. She's going to attack your political views. Whatever you do, don't join them on their level. That's why you have to take the superiority level. And it's over there for $3.95. If you want it, fine. If not, suffer. Because men, as I said, the reason I'm putting it out at such a low price is men today are suffering, broken. They're humiliated in school by the media. They're put down. Every commercial that they're shown as morons, idiots, dream on, all of that. I've seen guys turn to horses because of the political brainwashing. I may hang out with some of the craziest people on the planet, but at least they're alpha, and I'd rather deal with them. Because I know if there's a problem, I got backup. Now, I call 911. No, I don't need that guy. Yes, I will send you a link for MK44. Guaranteed. So, as we wrap up the show, this is going pretty quick. Because you have to know how to deal with the women of today. You have to be more alpha, not less alpha. You have to be more masculine, not less masculine. You got to take less shit, not more shit. And if you want to work out, you look like this. Not too many women tonight watch this show. Must be some Emmys on it, something like that. And back to, and I want you to get to this, the voice. Not the show, the way men talk. One of my kids was invited to a sleepover. And I had to call the father up and say it was okay. They go, hey, how you doing? Gary Brodsky, which is not a secret. And he goes, oh, hi, everything's fine. No, not another one. Is he scared of frightening movies? No, I told him I raised my kids tough. He's like, well, why do you do that? I said, I don't have a discussion with you. I sent my son over there. He's 13. And he said, called me up. I'm at the gym. He goes, you got to pick me up. What a bunch of sissies here. I can't take it. He's a tough kid. You know, and I'm glad that, you know, he sees the truth. You know, he learns from me. A tough kid, which is rare these days. And he gets more Facebook and emails from girls, innocent stuff. But why does he get so many? Yeah, he's good looking. Didn't get it from me. But because he's alpha. And because, believe it or not, he's got like a whole bunch of girls, you know, all the time. He knows the Bible, which dangerous stuff. My friend is back. And then, of course, we have Dan. Just kidding. I should wear my glasses, but I look like a dick. I know that you have spoken of the healing methods of God too. They're great and they work to heal you. I am living proof, okay? However, since I have become jacked and alpha the past few years, I am no longer clumsy, hesitate my words, indecisive, and the best part, never ever sick and hardly in pain ever. Is that a coincidence? Or do high testosterone levels achieve this? Well, I'll tell you one thing. They won't tell you this, but I will tell you this because I do studies all the time. High testosterone helps, but the belief in God, you're invulnerable. That's why they're trying to push God out of everything. God's thrown out of school. You don't even hear about God in church. And I will be starting not an online ministry, sort of, where I know every problem everybody has, male, female, bad, the worst, it doesn't matter, is unclean spirits, and I will vex you of unclean spirits. Coming up soon. Anonymous, you are my favorite guys. This guy's great. I wish I knew him, but he's the anonymous user. I don't know how you got that name. For the laughs, what are the absolute greatest words to piss off a woman? Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and hopefully not too many women who know me would know this. The more you try to piss them off, the more they're going to like you. And I'm glad you brought this up. I was having fun one day, and I sent out a text. I don't like texting, but I had nothing to do, right? Okay, so I sent out a text saying, I thought this was going to piss women off. And it's on the Kings of Intercourse, not the texting, but where the genesis of this mentality is. I wrote, get naked and love the hell out of me. And I have never failed with that text message. Now, I know I'm going to get shit tomorrow because women watch the show. And I thought that was just me. I just thought it was me. Yeah, well, it works. The more you try to piss a woman off, the more it shows you have value because you don't care what her reaction is. So the best words to use that will really piss off a woman, you won't see her go crazy or throw a fit or throw furniture. I've had that. The best words to really piss off a woman is, I'll do whatever you want. Believe me, that will piss off a woman no end. You won't see it, but in a few weeks, boy, will you feel the power of those words. That will piss off a woman more than anything you can. Whatever you want to do, dear, whatever you want to do, honey, you're the boss. Or try that one. You're the boss. Guaranteed, I don't care who she is, how much in love with you she is, it's going to end. So you want to know the best words? Leaving the decision-making up to her. Women, by virtue of nature, and I don't care who says women are, I'm the CEO of this, the CEO of my ass, it is in their nature to not want to make decisions. There's a few out there, maybe. I haven't met them. I heard about them. Sources are not too good. But if you make decisions, you got the woman. If you have confidence, you got the woman. That's simple. So simple you think everybody can do it, but they don't do it. Okay, let me have one more cigarette. This has to be done. I don't know why, but it has to be done. It's very important. Yeah. Didn't snap right. Got to do it again. Yeah. Okay. But it's important. So some girl got that text to get naked and love the hell out of me. So that text pissed me off, but it worked, and yeah, well, no details. Okay, we're wrapping the show up, so get your last questions in. Well, come on now, Steve, you gotta have a good question. Dan? Anybody? McPherson? Ah, that's a good one. I used the audio, Be More of a Man, and I got 3 inches off my stomach in 3 weeks. Yeah, it does have that on there. How to get your stomach down to practically zero without doing any exercise, without buying any equipment, without taking any supplements. And that's been a big one. Somebody sent me earlier, hey, thanks to you, I got to buy size 34 pants instead of 38. But I said, I'll love every minute of it. Right there. Yeah, it works. And it's been proven by Vince Gironda. I know we were talking about this one night with Dan. What did Vince Gironda say? No sit-ups in my gym when I'm throwing your ass out. Now, there's a fitness company, I don't want to hear from their lawyer, but they're a big chain. If you're built too well or have too many muscles now, they throw you out. So if you think of the attack, we have no choice. We have no choice. The war is forced upon us. to fight back by being superior. Now think about this. I'll break it down real simple. First of all, get the male superiority audio. But would any woman want to date a guy that's inferior to her just on the fact of that alone? No. So please get that, because it's going to change your life. All right, as the cigarette burns down, we're wrapping the show up. It's going perfect time. And there comes a question. Angry sex. I grew up watching some Brazilian soap operas, and they often make the guys and the girls fight till they're at each other's throats. Then there's a silence, and they make out and have great sex. That's not only in Brazilian, it's in all the old black and white movies too. They always start off on bad terms, and they get the good terms. That's usually how romance works. And here's the question. Is it because there was emotion in there and okay, I'm going to read this slower. Is it because there was emotion in there that does that? Okay, hey, no, it's his writing, okay? And that does happen often. I don't really argue with women anymore. I thought arguing with women was feminine. Arguing with women is absolutely feminine. But the guy always starts out like, hey, you're not coming on this camping trip with us. You're a woman. You can't do anything. Then she comes out there, breaks his balls. He breaks her balls. Arguing and breaking balls are two different worlds. Breaking their balls is a whole other thing. Oh, what the hell do you know, all the movies always start out, I don't want to hear from you. Come on, you're bothering me. The guy starts out, as I was talking before, as superior, self-centered, arrogant, which is all traits women love. And then they let the woman think she broke him down. Guys used to not play this game easily. Now, you can't play anything. Well, everybody, get back on track. And remember, if you're not superior, a woman does not want somebody who's inferior. Unless she's going to step all over you, take everything you have, kick you in the balls, throw you out, and not even give you a package of Pop-Tarts. Men were made to love women. Women were made to love men. Everything else in between is politically correct engineering of people to hate, distrust, and fear each other. You separate, which they've done a very good job, men from women, belittle men and ruin men, and you're destroying both men and women. On that note, the Gregorian chant, and I'll see you all next week. Looking for a good chant. Check out the site, get the new audio, male superiority. Love you all. Peace, joy, prosperity, love, and unlimited in everybody's life. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and good night. Thank you again for your questions.